So I'm back. Um, I am a big journaler, always have been. I have a lot of journals that I've kept that I've written in a lot. And I'm wondering what your take is on this. My mom says that I should get rid of them because someone, like, say, when I die or something, might read something that would hurt them. Because, I mean, it is true, a lot of my journaling is a release of bad emotions. And so I do say things that I wouldn't say to people's faces. But it helps me settle down and express myself in writing because I do that so much better than speaking to people. I wish I had one of those. I don't know what they're called, but like you could type in what you want to say and push a button and it will speak it for you. I wish I had one of those in everyday life. You don't see that when I'm sitting here talking to the computer because it's not a person. What I see is my own face. I'm very, very different when I'm out in the world. I have a very hard time talking to people. And when I have to force myself into the scripts that I have made for certain situations, it's very, very exhausting. Anyway, back to the journaling. I have journals that that go from just a composition book to write in and fancy leather journals that are just almost too nice to, you know, just to spoil by putting writing in them. But I'm going to show you what I have. And ask your opinion on, do I get rid of these? I think I'm leaving a legacy of someone who I mostly write about being bipolar because or having bipolar disorder, um, because I only was just diagnosed. I've had autism all my life. I was just formally diagnosed, so I have been, and I tried something new, and it's kind of turned out to be lame, and I'll show that to you here in a second. So I'm gonna pause, get a stack, talk about it a little bit. Pause, get the next stack. Yes, stacks. Okay, am I going? Okay. Yeah, I'm going. These these are from the 1990's. So we've got journals that have pages from other journals in there just because it was the right time frame. Sometimes I get tired of a journal and move on to the next one and don't completely fill it. But this one is full. And it's just anything can be a journal. It's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside. See, this one is from 1999. And my handwriting changes, by the way, even to this day. I sign my name in slanted cursive, but sometimes I write straight up and down in short letters, and sometimes they're a little taller. And yeah, so these this looks like when I was going through a lot of therapy, and things like that. I don't. Here's another just notebook. I used to just write, well, there's some purple. I do like to add some color to with my pen. Here's green. That kind of makes it fun. Here's some more. Look, this is the nicest handwriting I ever had. I could never write this nicely ever again. My handwriting has just gone down the tubes because of the small tremor I have. Sometimes I have to do a medication I'm taking. Now this looks like I was completely out of it. If I'm very angry or upset, it gets messy. Let's see. Oh, this isn't very easy. I don't know how it is supposed to work, but I hate. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I love those glasses, but they're outdated. I have to put my big. People think I look like Sybil Trelawney. I don't know how it is supposed to work, but I have never done it before. I would like to have my pink pen. I can't find it. It is very difficult to keep my right hand from taking over. I want to know what is so bad about me that only people was okay to be mean to me. Everyone knew about me. Maybe if they would have told me, I wouldn't have been so confused. And that right there is a sign of the autism, and that I didn't understand how to behave around people. It didn't come to me naturally. I watched and observed and tried to mimic as best as possible. But I only knew when I was doing something wrong when somebody would tell me, like in social situations. This says criticism of stories, prose, and essays. And it's just a basic composition book. And see, as you can see, this is my handwriting is different. I wrote about my favorite book in the whole world, Howard's End. A list of books, different handwriting that's crazy. And then look, see, I gave up on this one, or I just never finished it. Maybe I just didn't feel like writing about that. This is another one: essays, observations, stories. 1993, trigeminal neuralgia. I had surgery in my crane. They put holes in my skull and found where the nerve comes out of my brain, and found 2 blood vessels wrapped around the nerve because I was having pain in my face. and put little tiny cushions, Teflon cushions, to pad them. And I had that surgery. So that's in here. Mid-90s. I'm going backwards in time. This one. Oh, look, I wrote about Howard's End again. I think this is when I was, yeah. So, what is this? I think I was starting to, I was making my first playlist. I was burning CDs with different, one that I called Fire, one that I called Earth, Water, Night, Light, and Dust. I have those. I still have those. This one is that. Oh, look. A bunch of empty pages, and right in the middle is this. I have pages falling out. This is a poetry I wrote during a Manic episode. I wrote a bunch of poetry this one time. I only could do it the one time. And this came from a tiny journal. Oh, here's a story I wrote called The Window. It's about a woman who is drawn to this particular window, and it calls to her, and she jumps out of it and commits suicide. Lovely. It's actually a good short story. It's not even a short story, it's just an essay, I guess. Composition book. Handwriting's completely different than all the others. This is from 98. I hate my body. I used to hate it before I gained weight. Now I really, really hate it. And because I'm losing weight doesn't mean a thing. It's disgusting and revolting. I'm too young for a body like this. I never should have agreed to all that medication. I never should have gone into the hospital. I never should have stopped working. I hate to feel my skin touch another part of my body. My thighs when I walk, when I bring my legs up, my stomach doubles and folds on itself, and my breasts hang loose. I don't talk about this, but I'm 5 feet tall, and that's the only number I'm going to give you, because it's supposed to be bad to talk about numbers. But I got to a point where I stepped on the scale and I saw I had been on Depakote, Zyprexa, Remeron. So, yeah, I gained a lot of weight and I was depressed, so I wasn't moving around. And I got on the scale and I saw the number and I said to myself, if I get to the next number, I'm going to do something bad. And I went on a diet and I started walking. And then over a couple years, it became something very extreme. And I ended up on the other end of the spectrum. And I was with disordered eating and other things that go with that. And people were worried about me, but it felt good to me to be very thin because my body parts didn't touch. It That was my biggest issue. I mean, I didn't like the way I looked, but how I felt was like it drove me insane. It just creeped me out. Um, and that's all I'm gonna say about that because I don't want to be demonetized. And now this is the first leather one I got that you can actually take out the book and replace it. But I just keep buying new leather ones. And this was just a little while after I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I had anxiety. This is from 1999, and so some of it is so neat and tidy. Like this is fairly tidy. And then there's this. What's going on with me there? Past 2 days, especially today, many crying spells, some reasons, some without. Mom came to help me clean, put a lot of pressure off. I cried a lot today. When she noticed, something about self-esteem, number one, couldn't get something on top of shelf. Number two, I saw somebody. Number three, Mom, something a lot. ER. Some may believe to immediately for this problem, and I think that I should be past, present, future. I want to know. I cried 3 times today. That's the only page that seems to be like that. I wonder what was going on there. And then there's just like this little bitty fat book. I have a lot of numbers here. I'm trying to rate I think I was just starting to learn how to graph my moods or something. So, yeah. So I had this. Yeah, I was experimenting with graphing moods and stuff. And this is 1996. And I think this was a gift. It's got the God grant me the serenity thing. This is when I started having a preference to journal with an actual calligraphy pen. I started out with a calligraphy pen, and I really liked it. Negative thoughts. I cannot tell the future. I cannot read minds. One day at a time. If it is true, I am not the only person There is nothing for me in this world. I can and will and am an important person in society. There are a lot of people that care about me. I probably didn't believe that when I wrote that. I was just experimenting with trying to make myself feel better. Like number 4 is, I will never be attractive again. A, I can lose weight. Many people do it, and I will. B, I am not ugly. I am pretty. I have pretty eyes. C, this will take time. Number 5, I will never get out of debt. It isn't okay to cry. A, it's normal to cry if you are sad or afraid. B, I am not weak because I feel like crying. I think I was just trying to, I was going through a hard time right here. I was actually engaged to someone before I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it turned out that the part about in sickness and in health wasn't his jam, and he wasn't interested in being with someone who was chronically ill. So that was, and dumped me. In fact, I only just recently sold the wedding band set to help pay for my dental bills. This goes into 2005 and 2003. So this really should be in a different stack. Alright, I'm going to pause it. Hello. So in a different video, I showed my ECT journaling, so I won't go through that. This is my dream journal. I've had it for a long time. My medication now, I don't remember my dreams very well. I used to have so many dreams. Very vivid. Usually it's running from something or hiding from something or searching for someone. And in fact, I would have this recurrent building in my brain, in my dream, that I was looking for. And I would have that dream over and over. Someone was there that was going to make me feel safe and feel better. And I give them names, like oh wait, I don't want in pain, cat hoarder, condo tornado, takeover, penny in a storm. That was for my dog. Sometimes I type it up and glue it in. Oh, breast cancer. Shamey, my dog, a different dog. Anyway, that's what that is. Crying games. And sometimes I'll get up and like write it, and it'll be so, I'll be half awake and it'll be so messy I can't read it in the morning. This is, I count this as journaling as well, but this is poetry. My poetry consists of like 1 or 2 words rolling. I have videos from way back that I selected poems to read. So if you were interested in looking in that. But like I said, it was only during one manic episode I was able to write poetry. I can't. I don't and I can't anymore. Or outside of that period. This is a weird looking. I like this little notebook. I kept this. I took this on a visit to Texas. My grandfather wasn't doing well. He had cancer and he was in hospice. And there were a lot of family members that I didn't get along with. And I took a little journal with me so I could purge out my hatred in writing to help keep me calm. This was a gift. This is a pretty one. This is trying to find a 2007, so we're about there. My handwriting has gotten weird. It's kind of fat and rolling. It's starting to look like my grandmother's handwriting. This one's filled. I have some typed up ones in here. I think I journaled because I didn't have anyone to talk to. And now that I talk to the camera, I don't journal as much because maybe that's what I'm doing. I know barely anybody watches my videos. Or at least they don't like them. I don't know. And I used to put that into journals. What is this? This looks like pictures of something. What the heck? It's like taped together. And there's a picture. Why do I have pictures of Milwaukee's best on the ground? Seeing as I am in therapy for various reasons, we had to beg your effing ass to get the help that you so desperately needed. Well, after I had been going, and then Mom went, and now you act like you did it all on your own. Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about when I lived with my mom and her husband, Dave, who is not my father. He was a big fat asshole. And he didn't like a dog that we got. And his complaints maybe about the dog, and I'm saying she's an effing dog. What dog does not drag sticks around, dick? And he was drinking. He was supposed to be in recovery. That's what they were meant. They were both in recovery, and they were together in recovery. And he started drinking again, and I started finding like beer stuff around. So I took pictures, and I can't wait to get the F away from you, you hateful son of a bee. Oh, that's going down memory lane. Lovely. I feel trapped in this house, unliked and unwanted. I couldn't work, and I couldn't take care of myself. And so I had to live with them. But there did come a point around this time where I was just like, I have to get out of here. And I got assistance in getting an apartment nearby so I would be by my mom. And my mental health improved immensely. um, he was a racist. He was he, he was a hateful person. I don't know why my mom married him. It was awful. What? I don't know where to put these. This is back when people would like post on message boards. If you remember what a message board is, raise your hand and you'll date yourself. Here's a Van Gogh journal. And I'm writing with the calligraphy pen was a gift. And there's a piece in here. Just out of the hospital, was manic with delusions. Bottom line, believed blank and I had a suicide pact, and she shot herself, but I did not. I had not fulfilled my part of the bargain. I believed she was waiting for me on the other side, feeling let down. Where was I? Why had I not come with her as promised? She was lonely and longing. I would have happily shot myself to go to her, to be with her forever and leave all this behind. Yeah, that was one of my worst episodes. My episodes were very dangerous. And I started to get a little fancy. Look, I chose the one with hearts. And so, I think this is, do not go there. They ignore you. And she is a user. You are only significant when she needs someone to bitch to. She complains and talks trash behind people's backs. She would not hesitate to do it to you. Fair-weathered friend. I have no idea who that is. I think this is about when I belonged to this vinyl record group. Got some weird drawings in here. Yeah, it was called the Record Guild. I don't think it's around anymore. But I didn't have people in my life. So I had people on message boards. Getting on a plane, taking off. I guess I was going to Texas. I had an ECT treatment today. Oh, more ECT. I was so confused. Everything I tried to say was I don't know. I can't read any something letter, notes, Dr. Father R. Bit. That doesn't make, this just doesn't make any sense. So, and this time it's flowers. Been using private messaging to communicate with two people regularly at the Record Collection Guild. I lied. I lied about my name. I made up a persona for this guild. And then, being the most honest person on this earth, which is an autistic trait, by the way, I told on myself and admitted to everybody that my name was not Penny Ann. I was not 24 or whatever. I had made up a whole life. So, and let's see, movie list, poem, essays, some journaling. Apparently I didn't like what was going on here. Oh, movies. This is about movies. Just lists of movies that I like. What the hell? The roller coasters are exciting, and so is this. This ride is more inviting. Many dangerous twists. The magic words are everywhere, and the actions are familiar. The setting could be anywhere, could be here or there. The events are so similar, yet each new scene feeds a new dream. And as long as I can play, I can promise I will stay. I will have no reason to walk away. I guess that was a poem. And sometimes it's just a list of words. This looks like a Manic episode right here. This whole section. That I got, and I still do. Well, I've always had a thing for words. More words. Pour, more, tore, sore, sour, floor, forlorn, worn, adorn, torn, porn, shorn. Whimper, pimp, limp, dimpled, simple, trample, sample. Derision, mission, open, often, moisten, liven, blazon, deepen, blacken. More words. Trade, made, grade, said, paid, aid, frayed. Where do these sayings come from? Go to pot. Daydreams. Yeah, these are I typed these up. These were the original poems. Yeah, poems. See, I purposely avoid reading the poems because I'm terrified that they're going to trigger an episode. There's nothing more terrifying than finding out after the fact that you were completely and utterly out of your mind. And you had absolutely no knowledge, no idea that you were. So, who knows what you could do. And this one's very pretty. Just, oh, here's some more words. Nothing really exciting though. Just a notebook. But it's got yellow paper, and I like that. Why do I have... Why do I have a picture of Shakira glued on here? I don't even like her. Oh, she got something about best song. That's weird. You think something is wrong with me because of the enthusiasm I show for movies, books, and music. That I might watch the same movie 4 times in a week, or read the same book twice or even more in few weeks, or even less. My actions are under a microscope. When I want to be alone to enjoy a story, you purposefully interrupt me. Ask me, what are you watching? You've already seen that. What are you reading? What are you listening to? The time I was reading Portrait of a Lady and you picked up the book, you saw inside the book the pictures it had from the movie. Oh, so casually said, oh, I forgot. I don't know who I'm addressing. What the heck is this? There's something about percentage STDs and teenage pregnancies, and I think I am debating myself about that topic. This is okay. This is interesting. This is 19. Let me find a date here. Oh, a letter to my grandparents. I need a date so I can have some sort of reference. But I can't find the one. Because that's what's going on right now, this debate about pro-life and pro-abortion, pro-choice, sexuality. 2003, so it is now 2024, and we're still having the same arguments. Okay.